Hi, and welcome to Finding Your Way Through Therapy. The goal of this podcast is to demystify therapy, what can happen in therapy, and the wide array of conversations you can have in and about therapy. Through personal experiences, guests will talk about therapy, their experiences with it, and how psychology and therapy are present in many places in their lives. With lots of authenticity and a touch of humor, here is your host, Steve Bisson.
Thank you, and welcome to what I'm going to consider my rant for my 100th episode. And it's not really a rant in the sense that I really want to talk about stuff that's important to me. First of all, thank you, Courtney and Bill, for the interview that you just listened to. If you're listening to it in order, if not, go back and listen to it. Courtney and Bill are great. Courtney Romanowski, a colleague of mine, Bill Dwinell, someone who is also a colleague, and we're working on projects together. But let me talk to you about 100 episodes and what it means to me. I never thought I'd get through episode 10, honestly, just the truth. And having had the opportunity now to meet so many people through the podcast, people writing me, texting me, direct messaging me, or whatever the technology is nowadays, still haven't received a snail mail about it. But ultimately, a lot of people have enjoyed my podcast. They've said that it has helped them see therapy in a different light. A lot of people have said, you preach authenticity on your podcast, and I know you personally, and you obviously are like that. And I've had a lot of my clients say, wow, this is good. They don't listen to every episode. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you listen to every episode, please write to me directly. I want to talk to you. And if you haven't listened to every episode, that's fine too. And the reason why I say that is this. Obviously, I want you to click and subscribe and all that fun jazz. But I also know that, not everyone is willing to listen to how we can change leadership through business, as I've done on an episode before. Or not everyone is going to talk about trauma or talk about near-death experiences or talk about what it is to have different conversation in regard to social justice. Anyway, I'm going through a lot of people who I've talked to. But I'll tell you one thing. I will be selfish and say, go back and listen to all my episodes. And yes, that sounds selfish, but I'll tell you why I don't think it's selfish. Because I think you can learn something from everyone. And that's always been my view and my mentality. I think I'm going to age myself, but at 47, I really realized I don't know a whole lot about life. And at 20, I knew everything. So go figure. I think we talk about that elsewhere in my podcast. But, the interviews have been so amazing, learning to look at things in a different light. Even for me, I have a few interviews, and I'm not going to mention the names just because I don't want you figure it out. You can text me if you know, or DM me or what have you. But I didn't know these people. And I was so intrigued as to how our conversation is going to go. And they go so smoothly and go so well. I've always wanted to be someone who does good interviews, and not necessarily in a podcast or TV show, radio. I just want to have good interviews, whether it is in my office or talking to people, because I'm curious and I love learning about people, learning about new things. I know nothing, as I said earlier. And yes, I do have a few people that I want to thank over this. And the first and foremost, and yes, I didn't pronounce my TH right. You can go after it all you want. It's French Canadian. It's my second language. But I want to first and foremost, someone who's been on with me for 100 episodes. And that's Laura. And I've never asked for permission to give her last name. So I never really give her last name. But my editor, my critic, my support, and yes, there's so many things I can say about Laura. The funny thing is I've never met her. She's in a different state, but she was recommended to me by Lisa Mustard from the PsychCraft Network. And I've been using her since, and I don't think I'll ever change, just because I really feel that Laura understands me, and she's seen the evolution, and she's given me feedback. She does an amazing job. You don't hear or clicking or anything else in the interview, or even me just talking, because of her. And she's truly one of the nicest people I've never met. And I know that sounds weird, but truly I've never met her other than through exchanges. We haven't even talked on the phone. She's just an amazing person. She's made me sound amazingly smart. She also has used the mic in order to make the effects that it's not going up and down. It's kind of the same. She just does such amazing work. So Laura, thank you for 100 episodes. I know that we've never met, but truly someone I consider a friend. and someone who's been supportive. Whenever I send you something that you told me, oh, this is good, maybe change this. And it's never been critical. It's just been so supportive. It's hard to do. And I want to give you a lot of credit. I want to also thank a few people who have been listening for 100 episodes. I joked around earlier. A couple of people have told me they've listened to, if not all, most of the episodes, and they've given me feedback. And yes, some of them are friends, but some people I just don't even know. And they said, you really bring me to a different point of view on XYZ, depending on the show we're talking about. And that means the world to me. So to my listeners, which is the lifeblood of this, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank my music person, because that's an original music piece that he sold to me. It's mine. I wish, I never got permission to share his name. Again, I always respect people. I hope it's come throughout these podcasts, but thank you to him. He's been part of 100 episodes. But I also wanted to thank the PsychCraft Network, which have been very supportive since me joining in. You guys will know about it, I think, in April, but I've been there since about end of March, and they've been so supportive. Give a shout out to all that team, particularly Gordon, who's just been amazing, and I really appreciate that. And the other thing, too, is I really enjoyed the fact that people have come back on a regular basis to listen to me and say, wow, this is good. And I never thought in all my years that I would be doing a podcast. In fact, 5 years ago, I didn't even know what a podcast was other than something that people made fun of. And here I am. So it's been really growing as a medium. And I really think that it's going to keep on growing. And I like to be here and be here for a long time. And hopefully I can continue delivering high quality shows every single time you listen to the episodes. If you ever want to really hear my thoughts, there's a few episodes where I just talk like this to myself, essentially. And those are not easy because I have to gather my thoughts. They're written down. I just make sure that the ruffling of the pages, and I'm going to do this on purpose, Laura, don't edit this out, doesn't occur. And if sometimes it makes that noise, she does edit it out. I just know that I couldn't be here without all of you. And if I've forgotten anyone, I'm sorry. My kids have been a great support in the sense that I can't always do this outside the hours I'm with them. And they've been good at really supporting me, letting me do my thing. And I truly, truly appreciate this experience so far. And I hope I have another 100 episodes in me. So thank you, everyone. And, it's only going to get better. I think have a few ideas of returning guests. I have a few guests that I'm going to go out and get. But ultimately, this is all done for you. And if you have ideas, suggestions, you want to come on, we want to know your experience in therapy. I never thought that I would be the guy talking about experiences in therapy and work on the stigma. And that's a long story. If you want to DM me on that, I'm doing a lot of this because I want you guys to interact with me. The hardest thing about a podcast is you sit here and you're talking. Literally, I'm looking at I think it's pronounced Rode, R-O-D-E for my mic. And that's who I'm talking to. There's no one else. There's a screen in front of me. That's it. So being able to have feedback from you guys is truly, truly what makes me think I am doing the right thing, or I need to tweak this, and so on and so forth. So please write to me. Please show me some support. Let me know if there are things you also feel I haven't addressed, but if I can live stigma through therapy, and that everyone now realizes that mental health therapy is as important as physical help, then I've done my job somewhere. So thank you, guys. The next episode will be with Susan Rogendorf and Stephanie Simpson. This is the official episode 100 of Finding Your Way Through Therapy. I've actually looked at my numbers. I'm a little higher than 100 just because of little things, including special episodes. But to me, this is really, truly the official 100 episode. Couldn't be happier than having Susan and Stephanie on. So I hope you join me then.
Please like, subscribe, and follow this podcast on your favorite platform. A glowing review is always helpful. And as a reminder, this podcast is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. If you're struggling with a mental health or substance abuse issue, please reach out to a professional counselor for consultation. If you are in a mental health crisis, call 988 for assistance. This number is available in the United States.